All right, Hisjay, Ostongo. How's everybody doing today? Desiray, Chachukados. All right. So I see a few new faces. Ken, welcome. And let's see, I see Robert, see Erica and Cassandra and Christy. All right, Mado for coming. All right, so I keep getting messages that there are some people who are new to our language and or are in the beginning spectrum of our language. And I try to capture everybody when I'm teaching. So if you guys have any questions or if you like me to repeat something or go over some of the sounds, just let me know and we can flop back to go forward. Because even those of us who are learning and are a little bit further along, we still have to go back to the basics and learn, you know, the sounds. And because one of the things we're inundated with every day is English. So some of these English sounds get stuck in your head, you know, because the Muskogee I has the A sound. So you're thinking hi, but it's hey for hot. All right, like I said, welcome to everybody. If anybody has any questions, we've been having a lot of problems with the one screen. So we've been trying to get things situated on there. I have things that we're going to refresh over. I don't have any, this is going to be a fun day. Let me put it like that. This is going to be a fun day. We're going to be singing. I'm going to show you some of the new things that they have going on. Not only here in the Muskogee language program, but also at the College of Muskogee Nation. They had, and I think they still have the Muskogee language program online. So you can take it as a class and get credit for it. You can get a certificate for speaking Muskogee language. And we are going to actually visit one of their sites. And I wanted you to hear the difference because I know we were talking about the R has a the or flee sound. And this is one of the things I wanted you to hear the differences. You know, how I'm teaching and how the College of Muskogee Nation, how I learned that way. Neither way is wrong. Like I said, there's for the R's, the or flee sound. And I hear Mvhayv Barnett said, you know, like like this. And I was taught flee. So it's just easier when you guys can hear the difference. So I will go over that today. Ken, like I said, welcome. You're new. Did you have any questions before we start? Where are you at your language journey? Are you fluent or where are you at?
I had a brief introductory class with I think his name was Eric Gaither. I don't know if that, I thought he was connected with the Muskogee College. He was doing graduate work. He's this fall. I understood he was doing this as a public service sort of thing for credit for a graduate course. Right. And he's at Columbia University.
Okay.
He already had one or more graduate degrees, and he's doing more.
Right. Yay! It's always good to have our people have education. Yeah, that's good.
I've got a little notepad with some of the words I was able to collect from that class. Okay. But it was like a fire hose, just too much, too fast.
Right. And I'm sure a lot of us understand what you're talking about because I tell everybody I'm not a fluent speaker. I didn't start my language journey until late 40s. And so I didn't grow up hearing the language. And the way that I've shared and taught is for those of us who have learned English first. And so you see on some of my curriculum, I had English words to capture the sounds of Muskogee. And that helped us to transition from English to Muskogee. It's all on the Google Drive, and you'll see module 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you're welcome to dig into that and look at it. And if you have any questions, you can always contact the Muskogee Language Program And you can ask them a question, or you can, have them leave me a message, because I'm back between Okmulgee and Oklahoma City. And we'll help you on your language journey as well.
Okay, appreciate it. My grandmother was on the Dawes Rolls. Her home was in Natura. And along my several careers, I'm 80. I picked up some Vietnamese, all in the military.
Right.
Vietnamese. I grew up in San Antonio and should speak more Spanish than I do, but I have a little bit of Spanish
Right.
and German and a phrase or two in Tagalog for the Philippines. So I picked up a little smattering. Sometimes I try to say something in one language and it comes out the other. So I'm
I've
really
done that.
looking forward to more of this.
Christy, you're what is it, a Navy veteran, correct?
Army.
Okay, well, Christy's a Navy veteran,
Hi,
Ken,
Christy.
Army, I'm Air Force veteran.
Oh.
So, welcome, like I said. And when I went through high school, I had to learn French. So it's funny because sometimes French will come back from wherever. Somebody be speaking Muskogee, and all of a sudden my mind thinks French. So I know exactly what you're saying when you know a few languages. For some reason your mind deviates to a different language. But welcome. All right, so like I said, today's going to be a fun day. It might be fast because, like I said, we have a lot going on here. There's a lot going on over there in the Muskogee language office. Mine is just the Zoom room, so I'm here by myself in this room. But the cool thing is we've got a website that should become active, I would say, the end of no later than the end of October. And it should have everything that we've gone over and everything that you're looking for your resources. Yeah, Christy, you deviate to Spanish. We were stationed in San Antonio for 5 years. My daughter was actually born at Wilford Hall, which there's no longer a Wilford Hall. So yeah, we loved it in San Antonio. It's just I miss my Creek, Muskogee Creek and Seminole people. Everybody thought I was Hispanic.
Right, I know, but when my grandmother visited a time or 2 years ago, people took her for Hispanic.
Right. So yeah, I feel that too. All right, so like I said, we're going to go all over the place today. We're not going to learn, I'm not going to sit there and conjugate for you, but we're going to do some fun things today. And next week we will jump into new conjugations and new vocabulary. I've been looking at, you can see all my notes. I've been looking up in the dictionary interesting things for vocabulary, because there's a lot of vocabulary that we don't see, like the name for muskrat. And like I said, I'm still learning, so I don't have all of these fluently down. But once I get some of these down, I will make the vocabulary list. And as always, I write everything I know. You guys, we teach it, and then I'll hit the slideshow for a PowerPoint, and you can hear the speaker speak it. And like I tell all the students who's had me in previous classes, is I always try to have our speaker speak it, so you can hear the tones and the sounds that we're trying to achieve when we speak Muskogee language. One of the cool things that I've come across is OPV, OPV, OPA. Does anybody know what OPA means?
Ow.
Ow, exactly. So when I was growing up, I always heard the word for owl is Stigini. And of course, it was in Mvhayv Barnett's class at CMN. And I said, I thought it was Stigini. Well, that's a shapeshifter. So that's not the same thing. So I was in my 50s when I learned that. So you, Anthony, awesome. Good job. So for prairie owl, I found out Obawaga is for prairie owl, which you wouldn't really think, because Oba is owl and Waga is cow. But in this dictionary, it says Obawaga for prairie owl. And then Oba Ipa for screech owl. And like I said, this is gonna be on our vocabulary later. These are some interesting things that unless you know specifically these things, you won't know the words for it. But I thought it was some things that are interesting. Oba, Iva for screech owl. And if you think about Oba, you think about owl. Iva is a dog. So screech owl, you know, howling, screeching. I think that's where the association for Oba Iva came from. All right, so these are some of the interesting things that I've found. And when I find something interesting, I like to share it with you guys because, you know, if I don't know it, then a lot of you guys possibly don't know the same thing. But these are some of the things that I am typing up currently that we will go over. I am going to be heavy on vocabulary this module because we are starting to learn how to conjugate. I want to be able to talk about things after we conjugate. I will also throw some more vowels out there. But like I said, you guys have access to the Google document site, so you can go and listen if you need to some of these old PowerPoints, and you can hear the speaker speaking. All right, so let's go ahead and start afresh. And we are going to start with our song. This is the song that I've used before, and I wanted to show you some other things. But let's start with this. Let's get our mouth ready to go, our minds and our hearts into the Muskogee language. All right. All right, good job, guys. I always like to open us up with a song or something to get us in the mindset of speaking Muskogee and thinking Muskogee, because we're surrounded by English. Once we wake up, English. You hear songs in English. So this is one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys from the College of Muskogee Nation. And this is one of the things that we were talking about. Let me see if I can find it. See. All right. So we were talking about the R sound, the thlee or the thee sound. So I've learned from College of Muskogee Nation, like Hadam Jihi Chaflees. Thlee. It's got the thlee sound. So Hadam Jihi Chaflees is I will be seeing you again. I will see you again. And I know Mvhayv Barnett says Hadam Jihi Chaf this. It's the thee or thlee sound. The thee or thlee sound. So it's a TH sound. So this is one of the things that, you know, when you're learning, there's so many different ways to learn, so many different ways to pronounce things. But listen to this one.
Wisdom, hobotlinga. Wisdom, hobotlinga. Wisdom, hobotlinga.
So do you hear the thlee? Hobotlinga, hobotlinga. So that was one of the things that was interesting to me. And when I would teach you guys, I was like, it could be either or. And that's how, you know, not everybody speaks the same. You go south, if they're speaking English, sometimes you don't understand them, but they are speaking English. And it's different from Oklahoma English, different from New York English, different from Massachusetts English, different from British English. And even in England, they've got their regions, and you're like, I have no idea what you just said. And for an American to go over there and we're like, can you slow it down? Can you speak a little? It's Scottish English when you hear them, Irish English. So that's the same thing in our language. is there's different sounds. Let me go ahead and see if we can, let's see. See if we can find, I'll just let you listen to it.
Responsibility, Mijogi. Responsibility, Mijogi. Responsibility, Mijogi.
Okay.
Respect, Atlakwichka. Respect, Atlakwichka. Respect, Atlakwichka.
Again, there's that R. He goes the fluff, like athlete, flee. So that's why when I teach sometimes it gets a little confusing because people speak differently and different regions have their different regional dialects.
Learning is good. Juga, Gitleda, Hedlidos. Learning is good. Juga, Gitleda, Hedlidos.
See, and those are
Learning
different.
is good. Juga, Gitleda, Hedlidos.
Those are different from how we've taught. Hold on. Goodness gracious. Of course, when I don't silence my phone, that's when I get a one of those spam calls. All right. So now you hear the difference in the R sound. Let's see if I can.
Respectfully, Atlakwichka. Respectfully, Atlakwichka.
So you hear the flee more so in his voice than you hear from our speakers here. So I wanted to show you the differences. I also have, these are some of the phrases and you hear his tone is different from Mvhayv Barnett's, which is different from mine. And I'm pretty sure he's from a different region in Oklahoma. But you're welcome to come and look at this and to listen to the differences of our Muskogee language. Let's see if I can get that. Okay. All right. So I have, let's see if I can, right here. Trying to make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, there we go. So I have what we just listened to for the Muskogee Creek language chart that he was going over. I have it, the very first one right here on in the Google Drive. So if you guys want to hear the differences and to hear a different speaker speaking, that is available for you to visit anytime you want to. It's going to be in the Google Drive. Also, the song we just sang is right here. Right here. Can you see that? Yeah. So that's the song we just sang. The Espogides o mis quitiscos. So that is there. So if you want to sing, if you feel like you want to know what you're singing, I have it there. And one of the other things that I always like to put in my presentations is what we are saying. BRB. Oh, okay. Be right back. Mado for the chart. Yeah, I don't know. There's acronyms. People always, even in the college, you know, LOL. Now we know what LOL is, but acronyms. Sometimes I think I know what somebody's talking about, but then I find out I don't. Anyway, that's just the changing world. So here I also have our YouTube site, and let me see if I can click on that and see if that'll open up for us. Yay! Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. See if I can make it bigger.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got shape video masks. You can use different shapes to create completely different vibes.
There we go. Sorry about that. All right.
Jesus would get
said, these are available. These are new things that are on our Muskogee website for YouTube. So I've got that link there. You've got videos. And the cool thing is they've got these new videos, and I wanted to show you guys a couple of these because when you're learning the language and you're learning how to speak the language, you want to hear the tones and you want to hear how something is pronounced. And one of the easiest way to learn a new language or anything is to take it down into bite-sized chunks. Something as easy as some of these videos. Listen to it in the morning, have a cup of coffee, sit there and listen to it. You know, right before bed, listen to it. But this is one of my favorites right here.
Today we're going to talk about Baby Noja, which is a Muskogee lullaby. Baby Noja has a story that some people know and some people don't, and we're going to talk about today before we actually learn the song. So as it states here, Baby Noja is a lullaby that was created during the forced removal from our homelands in the southeast to what is now known as Oklahoma. Here's how the story goes. The soldiers would round up the Muskogee people at night and aim firearms and cannons at them to scare them and make sure they didn't flee during the night. They would play a bugle horn to warn everyone that it was time to sleep. This horn would scare the children and babies, so in order to calm them, the Muskogee women made a lullaby to the sound of the bugle horn to sing and to help calm them down. We still sing this song today, and now this song represents the strength of Muskogee women and their ability to create positivity, hope, and resilience in times of hardships. So let's take a listen.
Baby Noja, 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 Noja hobokan ayang si Paksindo lalagahis makido ayang si Baby Noja, 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 Noja hobokan ayang si Paksindo lalagahis makido ayang si Baby Noja.
All right, so that's some of the cool things they have in the Muskogee YouTube station that we have. I don't know why I'm not being able to, okay. All right, like I said, sometimes the board is cranky and she doesn't want to work right.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards.
Anyway, let's go up here. Like I said, this is the Muskogee Language Program YouTube. There are different things on there, like I said, the videos. And if you're learning the language, it's got a little bit of everything. I know some of them seem like really child friendly, but that's okay because, you know, some of the things that stick in your mind are some of the things that you learned as a child. And if you have grandchildren, play it for them when they're over, put it on the big screen. You know, grandpa's out there cooking, cleaning, and the kids are out there playing. Put these on there. They will pick it up really fast and they will tell you some things in Muskogee and that'll help you learn as well. So it's reciprocal. You'll help them and they'll help you learn. The cool thing about all of this is it's also got cultural things here. You see here, Jussie Sakmoski. That means fried pumpkin, or yeah, fried pumpkin. So basically, Jussie, if you see right here, Jussie is pumpkin, Sakmoski is fried. So one of our Mvhayvs, his wife, Nicole Harjo, is showing you how to cook fried pumpkin. So these are some of the resources, the cool resources that they've been making over there to help us learn Muskogee, to help us go further in our knowledge. Yeah, somebody with a pumpkin, Jussie Sakmoski. Sometimes I go a little fast, and just like you guys, your tongue is used to speaking English, but just keep practicing, it'll get better. And you will hear me flub up a bit, and even Mvhayv Barnett flubs up a bit, but that's okay. Just keep practicing, you'll get better. And so these are some of the things that I wanted to show you guys that are out there. So like I said, fried pumpkin, and it's a different kind of pumpkin, and it's a white looking pumpkin, and you will see it if you watch the video, that this is how some of our speakers say that they've eaten all their life. And what she does is she cooks the pumpkin, she adds sugar into it. In our household, we don't have regular sugar. I'm trying to eat a little more healthy, so we added brown sugar to it, and we, for our own family, we add a little cinnamon. So that turned out really good. I made it this weekend. It was awesome. And this is, like I said, some of the things that are out there that I wanted you guys to see, that, our Mvhayvs are constantly going here and there, doing things to help us, to help you, because we're trying to create more speakers, and we're trying to speak our language more so. And you see, this is one of the Muskogee hymns that we just seen. I just showed you just a portion of it, of what is out there. If you guys like hymns, Muskogee hymns, there are more Muskogee hymns, and they make them every day to help us. Sometimes people learn different ways, and a lot of people that I've spoken to learn with the Muskogee hymns. They learn how to pronounce things, and they learn vocabulary. So if that's what you like, that's out there as well. And they're constantly making new ones. So that's a helpful bit. We already went and sung our song, and again, this is the Muskogee Okanaga. This whole links page is on the Google Drive. So once I get out of here, you will know where to be able to find this. Let me see if I can copy this for you. Let's see. Oops. Yeah. I'm going to copy the Google Drive for you guys. I know some of you already have it. So we are in module 5. Come on. There we go. Copy. Molasses might work. Yeah. Well, whatever you're used to eating, just try it. That pumpkin is really good. It's really, it tastes like some of the squash I've had before, and it was a white pumpkin. And what the Mvhayvs called it was Indian pumpkin. So it looks like a regular pumpkin, but it was white. And I don't know the scientific word for it, or even the common Western word for this pumpkin, but they just call it Indian pumpkin. Let's see, in that video that we just viewed, she was cooking the pumpkin. I think she names what she calls it, but all the Mvhayvs over there know is Indian pumpkin. All right, so in Google Drive, module 5, you will see what I just showed you. The internet links. You have our song that we sung today. I wanted to show you guys this. Whenever I find anything new, I try to show you guys and let you in on the know, I guess. So Muskogee Nation Citizens Beyond the Reservation, somebody showed me their book, and it's got hymns in it. Sometimes, so this is the hymn book. It's got different hymns in it. And as the Muskogee Nation Citizen Beyond the Reservation. I just scanned what I had so you guys could see what I was talking about. And let's see. All right, and these are the songs that are in there. And like I showed you guys a few minutes ago, we have on our Muskogee language page some of these hymns. So you can actually have the words to them, sing to them. They have CDs up at the main office, the Muskogee Language Program office. Just call up there and they can send you CDs. But this is what the book looks like. And let me see if I can find that other, here it is. This is the page where it's got the tribal liaisons office number. And just give her a call and see if she can send you one. And like I said, it's pretty thick and it's got pretty big words. So I would suggest you guys, you know, if singing is your thing, go request from Miss Townsend the book. And I think they send it out to you free. If not, I can pick one up for you. Those of you who come to the class, I do have some for Friday, so no worries on that. I picked up a few more, but they're welcome and they're friendly, and they're always trying to reach our native people because not all of us live on the reservation, and we are still Muskogee Creek citizens and members. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions? Because I will review what we did on Monday's class. Kim, did you have a question?
No, I'm listening, trying to absorb as much as I can.
Okay. Kim, were you with us in Monday's class, or is this your first class?
That's the first class today.
Okay, since we have you here, I'm gonna go ahead and go over briefly what we went over in the class on Monday, because that starts out from the very beginning and how far we've progressed. We have learned conjugations in module 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's going from, and I'll show you, it'll make more sense when I show you. It goes from humbida to eat, to I am eating, you are eating, he is eating, she is eating, they are eating. So let me briefly go over that. Does anybody have any questions before I go back to what we went over on Monday? Does anybody have any questions? Any comments or any suggestions or any stories? Okay. All right, let's see. They're all down here. Okay. Let's see. So what I was telling you about was the alphabet. When we're trying to capture the sounds of Muskogee, we're coming from an English brain. So what I've done, go ahead. Somebody have a question? Okay. So what I had done, because I didn't grow up hearing all of our Muskogee sounds, every now and then on Christmas or Thanksgiving, I'd have an aunt that would come and go. A couple of aunts, they would sit there and speak Muskogee. But for those of us who are just coming straight from English to learning Muskogee, this is helpful for those of us who are visual. And if you notice, I put a lot of color in my presentations because a lot of us are visual and color, you know, love the color. So we're trying to capture the sound like in Oklahoma, chi, like the cheese sound, cheese sound, chi.
Chi.
Yes. And in the short E sound, like it. Like hit.
It.
So, and then the long E sound, like eat, beat. The F sound, fee, like in feast. The H sound, he, like in heat. The I sound has got the A sound, like in hay. A.
Hey.
And that's the one I know that throws a lot of people off because you think English, but the I's got the A sound. All right.
A.
Yep. And the K's got the key sound. Some dialects is more key sounding, and other dialects it's more gee sounding. And a lot of our speakers here in the Muskogee language program say gee. But I've got a key there. So key, gee sound. All right, gee. L has got the lee sound like leader. M has got the me sound like me. N has got the knee sound like knee. O has got the O sound like skull. O. So O. And then P has got the PB sound like B.
B.
So if you hear people say like turkey, it starts with PEN. WV. Benoit is the B
Benoit.
sound. Benoit. B.
Benoit. Benoit.
And then R's got the th or the sound,
Emerton.
like athlete or thief. And that was the example that I showed you earlier, where the College of Muskogee Nation, more sound is like the flea sound. They've got that flea for the R, but either way, thee or flea. The S has got the C sound like C.
C,
T's got the TD sound like deer. D,
D,
D. U has got the oo sound like shoe. Ooh.
U,
V has got the sound like under. And so these are the ones that get a lot of people confused, is the ooh, ooh, You would think this one from this to that, that's English sound like under, but it's no. The U is ooh.
Ooh.
The V is under. W is we sound,
E,
and the Y is the ye sound like yield. Ye.
E,
So let me go over it and we'll just go through this quickly. Ah, G,
G,
G.
I,
E,
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 F,
C,
P,
P,
A,
A,
G,
G,
G, kind of like the G, K, E, G, Key, Lee,
D, D,
me,
Me.
knee,
No.
knee, oh, B, like a B, like the B right here, B,
B,
flea,
Three.
C,
B,
C,
D,
P,
D,
like deer, D,
D,
ooh,
Ooh.
A,
we,
B,
ye.
D.
Yes. All right, Mado, Mache, you guys did good.
Yeah.
Got a question? Go ahead. All right. So we're coming from the alphabet, and you hear some of our Mvhayvs say, because we're used to hearing the word alphabet for the sounds of English. Mvhayv Barnett says it's Muskogee sounds. She says sounds, but since we're coming from learning English, I put Muskogee sounds, Muskogee alphabet. And it's the same thing. Let's see if I can see. Here you go. Sound practice, Muskogee alphabet. I put alphabet because that's what we're used to, learning English first. But you'll hear Mvhayv Barnett and some of the other Mvhayvs saying Muskogee sounds. And same thing as alphabet. So if you look at this very first one right here, the sound of C, A together is G, ah. The sound is, or this one is G, I.
G, E,
And this one is G, E.
G, E,
This one is G, A.
G, A,
This one is G, O.
G, O,
This one is G, U.
U, U,
This one is G,
G,
So together, when you put these two together, sometimes it makes a different sound. So let me go through it so you can hear it. Ja, J, G, J, Jo, Ju, Ja. Ma, me, me, mo, mu, ma. So these are the sounds of Muskogee that we have for practice. And I go over more of this in module 1 on how to say all of this, but you can see how I've written it out like ye, I, ye, E, ye, A, ye, O, ye, U, So be ya, ye, ye, yay, yo, you, yeah. So that gets our mouth into speaking Muskogee and remembering the sounds. All right. And that brings us to the 2-letter syllables. And what I've told everybody is when I teach, I put both of the E sounds in there. It's a short E and the long E. That's why it looks like it's the same thing. It's not. So you just exactly what we did a few seconds ago. It's just I don't have it spelled out so you know that the sounds are different. Ja, J, G, J, Jo, Ju, Ja. Ba, Bi, Bi, Bay, Bo, Bu, Ba. All right, is that making sense? Okay, all right. So we went from 2-letter sounds and now we're going to 3-letter sounds. It's the exact same thing, and all of these little syllables, all of these little snippets of words are actual spellings in our Muskogee language. And so once you get your sounds down on these, speaking, reading, and saying Muskogee is going to be a lot easier. So sock, sick, seek, sake, soak, sook, suck, lock, lick, leak, lake, look, luke, luck. I will get one of the Mvhayvs to sit there and record this, and I will put a recording to this. I don't think I did that previously, but I think if you're trying to make sure you've got the correct sounds, I'm gonna have one of the Mvhayvs do the syllables, 2- and 3-letter syllables, so you know what it's supposed to sound like. And once you start practicing with these, you know, maybe once a day, once a week, your mouth is going to start to remember, you know, how to say some of the Muskogee words. And this is how we spell out something. If you hear Mvhayv Barnett, and I know she says it sometimes, is spell it in Muskogee sounds. So Hishjay, which means hello. He, I, C, G, A. So those are all the words in Hishjay. Those are all the sounds, Muskogee sounds. He, I, C, G, A. Hishjay. And that means hello. All right, here, this is the breakdown of Istongo. How are you? E, or I, C, D, O, Ni, Ki, O, Istongo. Once you start to get these sounds down, it's easier to say this word, Istongo. This is the short E, I, E-H. The long E is 2 E's right here. Mvhayv, very good or very well. You see the 2 E's together, that's the long E sound. Mvhayv, he, E, fi, E, me, ah, he, E, Mvhayv. That's how you sound it out, or that's how you spell it out in Muskogee sounds. So I will just, for those of you who are beginning your Muskogee sounds, your Muskogee language, let me just say these for you. Hishjay, it's hello. Istongo, how are you? Estongesos, I am well. Mvhayv, very good, very well. Mado, and a lot of people on your very beginning language journey, just say Muskogee, say one Muskogee word a day, Mado. Somebody hands you a cup of tea, Mado. Somebody hands you, you know, a pencil and you need it, Mado. One of the things that you have to constantly think in Muskogee, especially those of us who learn English first, you got to keep pounding a word in. Try to do 1 word a day or at least 1 word a week. Mado, you know, somebody opens the door, Mado. I know when I go to Walmart and I have to interact with some of the cashiers, I say Mado, and then I say thank you. So they're not just left with the word Mado. You can just say Mado, because especially around here, people know what that is, but some of us might not live in Oklahoma, just say Mado, thank you. And it's kind of funny. People look at you for a second, and then when you say thank you, and they're like, oh, and then they got a big old smile on their face. It's just really cool how when you say a different word that catches their attention, and then you say thank you, and they're like, oh, you're welcome. So Inga, you are welcome. Inga, I've seen is spelled E-N-K-A, like I have here, or E-N-K-V. Either way is good. A lot of times the A and the V are interchangeable or intermixed in the Muskogee language. It's like I said, regional. So Ihe or Ihi is yes. Monks is no. So if you need a simple word that you're going to stick with today, you've got Mado, thank you. Inga, you're welcome. Ihe or Ihi, yes, or monks for no. You know, and one of the things that I always joke around about is when I was starting out and I was learning some of these new things, my husband's like, hey, you hungry? And I was like, Ihi? And he's like, you gonna cook? Monks. So I knew those two words really fast. We ended up going out to eat. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is where we started out. And that's how we started our Muskogee language journey. For module 1, if you look at the Google Drive, you will see module 1. We studied present tense, hombada, to eat. And then I will show, I have templates in there to show you how to conjugate from going from hombada to eat to eating. I am eating. Remember, hombada is our infinitive verb. That means that it's an action verb. You're doing something to eat. This is the final conjugation for hombada, present tense, hombes. Hombes. You hear the P's got the B sound, hombes. Hombes. And literal translation from hombes is eating. I am. And the English, I always like to say this, flip it backwards. I am eating. I hear people say Muskogee's backwards, Muskogee's backwards. And I like to say Muskogee's just the way it needs to be. English is backwards. Because if you think about the Muskogee language, it outdates the United States. You know, there's talk about how long our native people have been here, and it's thousands of years, if not millions. There's a debate. We have our creation story, and it speaks about a long time ago. I'll insert this story. It's a personal story. I'm native. My husband is not. He's Caucasian. So we were stationed in England one time. I had put all these native pictures around, you know, native men, women, children, all around our house. And, you know, I had gotten those little plates that have the native pictures on there. And he came in and he's like, why is there native pictures everywhere? And I said, because I'm trying to show our kids that native side of things, native images, positive native images. And he said, well, why don't you do that for the Caucasian, for the white part? I said, because I'm not white. I can't teach them what I don't know. I don't know how to be white. And I said, that's your part. And he's like, okay. And then that led us to something else. You ever hear about the story where I don't even remember what it's called, but the creation story that they learn in public schools is, you know, we're descended from apes and we've evolved. Evolution story. We've evolved from apes. So we had to have a parent signature for them to teach our children, you know, the evolution scale. And so my husband and I, again, we're sitting there talking, and he goes, well, we're evolved from apes. And I'm like, well, the Muskogee creation story says that the earth opened up and we came out of the earth. So I don't believe I'm evolved from an ape. And he goes, well, that's what they teach in school. And I said, well, I know what I believe. I know our ancestors, came through all this. They give us stories on how creation. I said, but if you believe you're involved from an ape, I'll believe that too. And he just started laughing, but I was like, I believe I'm not evolved from an ape. And if they teach evolution from an ape, that's fine, but I know I'm not evolved from an ape. It was just one of those things. All right, so module 2, we presented present tense negation. And again, like I said, I love to use humbida, because if you think about humbida, you should get together with your family, sit down for a big meal, even if it's just on holidays, and you have a good time with your cousins, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmother, your grandfather, your children. You can learn a lot from the children too. Vice versa though, it's not one way. Humbida, to eat. So I think, to me, that invokes the thought of soul food. We don't have a specific term for soul food from what I've been told, but I could be wrong. Somebody might have a word for soul food that I don't know about. If you do, you're welcome to tell me and to share it with me. Humbida, to eat. So we were able to conjugate from humbida to humbakoros. Humbakoros. Eating, I not am. I am not eating. So literal translation is humbida, it is eating, and humbakoros. Humbakoros. Eating, I not am. I am not eating. All right. So we learned how to conjugate. I was right here is the you in this case. Up here for this conjugation, we had I there. It is you. And right in between the parentheses is he, she, it, or they. I need to edit my slide here and put in there he, she, it, or they, because these parentheses is just a placeholder when I do my notes to know that I'm talking about first person, second person, or third person. And I know sometimes it gets a little confusing, and those of you who are on the beginning spectrum of learning, you'll get it. I know it seems like a lot, but listen and you'll get it. All right, so module 3, we went over future 1 tense negation, humbida again, humbida, to eat. So humbahanekodos, humbahanekodos. So we were able to go from to eat, going to I not am. I am not going to eat. All right, and that is also on the Google Drive. The means I, the it's is still you, and nothing is still third person, she, he, it, or they. All right, and we were able to go to module 4, which is future 1 tense, humbida, again, my favorite word, humbida, which we have I for I, it's second person, and which is you, and then third person was again the parenthesis. So we went from humbida, to eat, to humbahanes. Humbahanes. Eat, going to I am going to eat. All right, so those are things that we've already covered. Like I said, I've given you the Google Drive. You guys can flash back to module 1, 2, 3, and 4. I just let you know I am updating some things. There are some things I had to edit. So if you see something there one day and it's not there the next day, it's probably there but edited, because there was some misspellings on my part. I'm going to let you know straight out that I am not a typist. So I fat finger a lot of things. And when I find out that something is spelled wrong, I go back and I change it. All right. So let me, we've got a few minutes here. All right, let me show you what I was talking about as far as conjugating. First person, second person. Okay, first person. So when we're talking about conjugating, we're going from something like akopanera, and that is playing, it's not to sleep. So that's one of the things that I go back and I make sure that it's correct. Akopanera, to play. So this should be to play. So in the steps, when we were talking about conjugating, I have a template in each of the modules where all you do is you plug and play. So you've got here, akopanera, you drop your ETV, and that creates the verb stem. And I do it step by step so you can understand and you can see it. There's no L grading. We only L graded in module 1, but in all the other modules, we did not L grade. Right here, you add your person marker. And since we're talking about first person, that's when you add your akopan, You add your negation, which in Muskogee, it's go or ego. There may be some other negations on there, but right now we're learning go or ego. Akopanako. And then you add your T, which is the subject. Akopanako. Akopanako os. Add your auxiliary verb, which means am, are, is. And like I said, this will make sense. The more you keep watching and the more you go with us on our conjugations. So that is a complete conjugation. You went from akopanada to akopanako os. So you're not doing something. Yeah. And like I said, I try to present things in more than one way, because if you don't catch it this way, you can catch it that way. Akopanako os. Verb stem, exactly what we showed up here. Verb stem, because you drop your ETV. You add your person marker right here is the because we're talking about first person, I am doing something. Add your go right here. Go. So that's negation. That means I am not doing something. You add your T or B, subject marker, akopanako os. You add your os, as in the steps. Os means am, are, is. Akopanako os. I am not playing. And you know not is because the code, K-O. I am not playing. All right. So that is, like I said, is the conjugation. We've conjugated just what we went over, but these are the steps, and this is the way I like to show you guys, step by step by step. You go from your infinitive to right here, your final conjugation, akopanako. I am not playing. And I know for those of us who are at the very beginning of our learning language journey, it's kind of a lot, but that's okay. We'll just keep going over it, and you keep tuning in, and you keep learning, and you'll keep reading, and it'll happen. It'll come. All right. Does anybody have any questions? I will have new vocabulary words next week. We will start trying to do more simple sentences. I will briefly go over how to conjugate a couple of things, because like I said, there's some people who are joining us right now instead of when we started, but that's okay, because it's going to go in a loop. There's always going to be people wanting to learn the stuff that we've already learned, but we're good because we can go back and we can refresh. All right. Anybody have any questions or comments? Like I said, and I will show you. This is this is one of the things. Again, it just shows you step by step. I try to show you step by step why we're doing something. And the way that I learned, I'm showing you guys. So you got your verb stem right here. You're going to your person marker, and then lega hanitskis, I am going to sit. So you're welcome to go through the Google Drive and look and understand. And if you have any questions, come back Monday, ask me, and I can go through and refresh or go over anything. All right, I see there's something in chat. My first class, all right, Inga. All right, and I just want to say thank you for attending today. I know life happens. If you can't attend every time that we have a Zoom class, they are recorded. They will be posted at some time. I'm still editing. If you have any questions, call the Muskogee Language Program. And if you need more information, just just email me. Let's see, I don't have my email. I will bring it on Monday. I will put my contact information. Email me and I will send you whatever you need. And if you have any questions, just email the Muskogee Language Program and one of the first speakers will be able to help you. All right, so that looks like our first week, Mado. Everybody's got the let's see, the Google Drive. Let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Let's see if I can open link. All right. Everybody should have the Muskogee Language Google Drive. Let me see. There we go. This one screen, like I said, sometimes she works and sometimes she doesn't. Trying to get the link again for you. Copy, paste. There we go. All right, there you go. All right, so Ken, are you here in Oklahoma or are you in a different state?
I'm in Texas, in San Antonio.
Oh, okay, you're still in San Antonio. Okay, all right.
Well, I just recently moved back here from Killeen.
Okay, all right. I know where Killeen is. We were stationed in San Antonio. We were also stationed somewhere in Oklahoma. We've been all over the place, but it's mostly Oklahoma and Texas.
Yes.
All right. All right. Welcome and thank you, Sam, for coming as well. And let's see, Nikki, thank you. Robert, Erica, Thor, thank you for coming. And like I said, if you have any questions, Anthony, thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And our program is expanding and our website should be done at the end of October. All right, let me say, Hadam Chihicha, please. Chihicha, please. Chihicha, please is for one person. Chihicha, please is for everyone. All right, Mado. Yes, go ahead.
You,
Inga.
I'll better practice learning. Thank you.
All right. It's never too late to learn. All right, Anthony, did you have a question? Okay. All right, well, Mado, and I will see you guys Monday. We do have a Friday evening class. It is in person and on Zoom, so everybody's welcome to come to that one as well. All right, Mado, I'll see you guys Friday.